Is there a high chance that these fellas came from a marching band background? Except they're not holding trumpets, they're holding rifles with a knife at the end of it. For them to be able to put on a show with just that gun, like just even their movements, how they hit the bottom of it, slid their hand up the side. I gotta say first, when he threw that rifle up, I thought it had that knife at the end of it. I was like, these fellas are crazy. These fellas are nuts. Their formations. And I'm just like, one little slip up and they're putting a knife into someone. So today we are watching US Marine Corps Silent Drill Platoon performs at halftime. So let's check it out.
The Marines before you represent 7 decades of marching and rifle drill precision. Premiering at Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. during the Sunset Parades of 1948, these Marines performed their precision drill in numerous public appearances throughout the United States and abroad for hundreds of thousands of spectators each year. Comprised of infantry Marines, the Silent Drill Platoon executes its drill sequence without cadence or verbal command. The M1 rifles they carry, with fixed bayonets, weigh in excess of 10½ pounds. Representing Marines around the world, the Silent Drill Platoon demonstrates the finest in Marine professionalism, discipline, and esprit de corps. The platoon commander is Captain Nick McGuire from Chester, New Jersey. The platoon sergeant is Staff Sergeant Henry Truzzi III from Louisa, Virginia. The platoon rifle inspector is Corporal Xavier Cockrell from Riverside, California. Ladies and gentlemen, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. proudly presents the United States Marine Corps Silent Drill Platoon.
I gotta stop at this. He said at the start that they're holding a rifle. I gotta be honest, I don't know much about guns, and it says something along the lines of a bayonet. I don't know what a bayonet, but I'm guessing that is the knife looking thing at the end of it. What's crazy so far watching this is that one part where they're holding the rifle up with the knife at the end of it, and then they turn towards each other, and I'm guessing they're obviously hitting the gap in between their formations, and I'm just like, one little slip up and they're putting a knife into someone. Like, that's crazy. So obviously I don't know what exactly is going on here. But another question I also had was their timing is really on, like their formations are on. Because I've watched a bit of drill team or marching bands in college, there's a lot of timing, a lot of precision. Is there a high chance that these fellas came from a marching band background? Except they're not holding trumpets, they're holding rifles with a knife at the end of it, which is mind-blowingly crazy. Very impressive. He just threw. They just threw it back to. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Marine Corps Silent Drill Platoon.
Oh. Okay, that was a little bit different from what I'm used to watching. I mean, yeah, I gotta say first, when he threw that rifle up, I thought it had that knife at the end. I was like, these fellas are crazy. These fellas are nuts. Then at the end, obviously, I saw them put the knife back on. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. So that's the first thing that I got to put out there. But a question I have is, what's the meaning behind it? Obviously, I don't understand US Corp or Silent Drill Platoon. Put down in the comments below, help me to understand what's going on there, what the meaning behind it all, because I wouldn't have a clue what's going on. But from what I could see, I loved how, you know, I referred back to the marching band or the video that I watched before, how, you know, they were really precise in their movements, and playing the instruments, you know, timing. What blew my mind here is they were holding a gun, and for them to be able to put on a show with just that gun, like just even their movements, how they hit the bottom of it, slid their hand up the side, and they were doing all their movements. I was just like, that's really cool how they can make a performance out of that, which really stood out to me. I gotta also put out there again, when they moved to the side and all their knives were pointing close to each other's heads, that was very impressive and very scary. I wonder if people have gotten hurt. I would imagine people have gotten hurt during this performance, or even just all their practices. They've obviously practiced to do that, so surely someone makes a mistake somewhere. I wonder how sharp those knives are. Surely they'd have to be quite blunt. But that was very, very impressive. I liked the leader. I liked how the leader walked on and had his segment, and how he went to the different members of his team and did the performance. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I loved it how they got back together and they did their performance. But that's very cool. I mean, just off the top of my head, the United States have a very wide variety of different things. Like, we don't have that. We don't have marching bands, not even anywhere close. Maybe we have small little tiny marching bands, but nothing on the scale. It's the scale of what you guys produce that's mind-blowing for, I wouldn't just say us here in New Zealand, I'd say for the rest of the world. So that was really cool, and now they're doing it with guns, rifles, and pointy sharp knives at the end of it. So it makes the viewer go, oh, like, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt yourself. So again, put down in the comments below what's happening. Let us know what the meaning behind it all. US Marine Corps, I don't know much about that. Again, put that down. Help me to understand what's happening there.